Hi Pragati, welcome on Yourpedia.
Thank you, sir.
Pragati, let me thank you for your time for this interaction, and also let me congratulate you for your selection in Bharat Electronics Limited. You're from
Thank you, sir.
electronics background, already you're working, and you got selected in BEL. So today my interaction will be related to your this entire process of cracking this exam BEL. And Pragati, you cracked it in May. There was a written CBT of BEL.
Yes, yes.
And May 2025, and surprisingly, positively surprisingly, again notification came, and a lot of seats for electronic students, like 175 seats again
Oh,
in
again.
October.
Yes.
Still form is open till 14th of November. Candidate can fill this form, and it is in the state of growth, this public sector, defense public sector. So input from your side will be very, very helpful for the students, and that exactly is the objective of making this video with you, Pragati. So I start with your background first. Please give us very brief about your background, which part of India you're from, and आपका qualification कहाँ से हुआ है, from where you got your degree, and the journey thereafter.
I am from electronics and communication background.
Yeah.
I did my graduation from Lucknow University, Faculty of
Mm,
Engineering.
mm,
And I completed my engineering in 2021 in August.
mm,
It was the
mm,
COVID situation. Because of that, it got delayed.
mm,
And thereafter, I just started applying for the jobs because on campus there was no such opportunity. Actually, I have not received such. So that's why I started applying off campus, and then I joined Infosys. So
mm,
in January,
mm,
thereafter I'm working currently in Infosys only.
mm,
In this year itself, in 2025, I should say 2024 in November, I applied
mm,
for BEL.
mm.
At that time, there was a open position for fixed data engineering.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
from yeah,
Mm,
so from there after I started preparing for BEL basically,
mm,
and then it was the exam was in February, I guess, or December.
mm,
I can't remember
mm,
exactly, but yeah, there was the time. So I went there again. वहाँ पर
mm,
BEL में ही था हमारा exam. उनके
mm,
उनके खुद के campus में. So it was a written exam and
mm,
it was pretty easy.
mm,
So basics, complete basics. I mean, ऐसा कुछ था नहीं, like there was a so level of difficulty was like quite easy, I would say.
mm,
And then I got selected in that interview, written as well, and they asked for the interview. But again, I didn't apply because I didn't did proper research actually. That it was just for the 5 year journey.
mm,
So and before that only I applied for probationary also.
mm,
So I left that interview and then I started preparing for probationary. So
mm,
since I already had an experience for written exams, like how they conduct and all those stuff, so
mm,
I started preparing accordingly.
mm,
Uh, so yeah, mainly I would say like the basics are extremely important.
mm,
Extremely, I mean,
mm,
should
mm,
gate level preparation something else, and for PSUs
mm,
it is completely a different approach. The
mm,
candidate should have a different approach.
mm,
So yeah, and then I started preparing for this BEL probationary, and in May I just applied it.
mm,
So again,
mm,
the question, yes,
mm,
the level of questions were quite different from fixed tenure and what we have received in the probationary. In
okay.
probationary, it was more of a theoretical based. I mean, theoretical based. No numerical questions were asked.
Mm,
So more of a theoretical and conceptual based questions were asked, and accordingly,
mm,
we have to answer.
mm,
Aptitude was also like quite an easy, but yeah,
mm,
written the technical part was bit
mm,
moderate, I would say.
mm, mm,
So yeah, then I applied and got selected in written, and finally we have appeared for interview. In interview also, that was a like a great experience.
mm,
So the interview were like the जो ले रहे थे basically, वो they were quite friendly, and they asked me again the same questions. See, it's not a like there were no surprising questions कि नहीं पूछा जाएगा. Obviously, they start with my introduction, so which
mm,
I provided. So and accordingly, they asked me. So what I said is like I did a research work in my during my graduation. So
mm,
the first question, obviously, they asked me, okay, you did create this circuit, so can you draw the circuit? So which I did,
mm,
and the HR part also, and some basic questions. So they asked me like, what is my favorite subject, and that was my digital electronics back then.
mm,
So then again, some basic questions. The OR gate, what can you draw or gate, or can you
mm,
give the
mm,
expression and all those stuff.
mm,
And
mm,
something from control system was also asked, like
mm,
and then yeah, then from HR side, again they asked me, why do you want to join BEL?
mm,
And then yeah, there was one question which actually I couldn't able to answer it, that how AI is impacting the environment. So they were
mm,
expecting like so a positive scenario, we all know that okay, yeah, it is good only in every way, but they were expecting some negative scenario, how
mm,
AI
mm,
is
mm.
impacting environment in negative scenario. So that didn't strike my mind, but later I just got to know, okay, that, yeah, it too has some adverse effects on the environment as well. So yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, then it was like done. It was pretty good and easy. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so thanks for this entire summary. Briefly, you told, and Pragati, I have a couple of things to ask you on the basis of what information you just gave me. You
Mm-hmm.
mentioned a very important point that fixed tenure also exam you wrote, and
Mm-hmm.
in the meanwhile, this probationary officers came, and then you focused on that. So my
Mm-hmm.
question to you is like fixed tenure question papers are also available in the market, and
Mm-hmm.
probationary officers are also there. So. What benefit students can take from the previous year's fixed tenure based exams questions which students already have? Is there any kind of matching, or as you mentioned that there is some difference? So how do you see that?
No, no. I'm not sure. Like since I gave for the first time,
Ah,
so basically the fixed tenure were quite numerical based and some basic questions like
okay,
they were like the level of exam was easy, I would say.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Extremely like just small formulas and some extremely
Mm-hmm.
like p-n junction diode regarding what is this, what is that, and all those stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
apti was also extremely easy, but coming to this probationary, it was conceptual quite,
Okay.
no
Mm-hmm.
numerical, even not even a single numerical question were asked. But all were theoretical but conceptual,
Mm-hmm.
means if candidate has a good idea of his basics, again I would say, no, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
depth in like don't have to prepare like a gate level, but theoretical part he should be very very well prepared, only the basics,
Mm-hmm.
then only he
Mm-hmm.
can answer that too. Because the
Mm-hmm.
options were like quite confusing, okay, what is this one, what is that, like that. So that
Mm-hmm.
they would have said.
Okay, so you said that the probationary officer paper was of moderate degree of
Hmm,
difficulty.
hmm, hmm.
So are there some kind of subjects from where more questions are asked in BEL rather than in electronics? Are particular favorite subjects in electronics?
Yeah, I would say analog, digital, and microwave questions were quite asked. Some related to, yeah, and both, and control system also. These four subjects, I would say, that
Okay,
student has to focus in both the
okay.
cases. But only
Mm-hmm.
the difference was again that in fixed, I know there was some numerical, basic numericals were asked, but in
Mm-hmm.
probationally there was some quite theoretical questions were there, like conceptual, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Many students know this. My next question to you, Pragati, is from the student side. And the students ask very basic things, and that is what I'm going to
Exactly.
ask you.
Hmm.
Like out of entire, there's no syllabus. BEL does not mention any syllabus. So when we
Exactly.
don't have
Exactly.
syllabus, then
Hmm.
how shall we know that which chapter is to be focused more, which is to be focused less? So what is your advice to them?
Again, I would suggest to start from the start. First chapter, that is the basics only. Like if we talk about solid state or something, then they should focus on the Zener diode, PN junction. I mean, which is the initial chapters of it. Like, so they can start from the first like basic chapters of this and get an understanding, clear understanding, and they can go. That's, it's not like they have to cover the complete subject, because otherwise they won't be able to focus on other subjects as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would say that the basics has to be extremely clear.
Mm-hmm.
Like p-n junction diode, then we should know like what is that, when will increase the temperature, then what will happen, decrease the temperature, what will happen, because this increase and decrease is something quite confusing. They get confused. Okay, in p-n junction diode the scenario will be different, but coming to the zener or something, then it will be different. So
Mm-hmm.
accordingly they have to prepare. That is the my
Okay.
point.
Now, the paper is of 125 questions,
Hmm,
100
hmm,
technical, 25
hmm,
aptitude.
hmm,
As you said, 25 questions are pretty easy. That
hmm, hmm,
aptitude are pretty
hmm,
easy.
hmm.
So, Pragati, tell me some kind of strategy for students, like out of 100 in technical, how much they can target in the exam, and in aptitude, how much they can target in the exam, and what was your
In
attemptation?
apti, if it for me it was pretty easy. I don't know, like it can vary from candidate to candidate, But
Yes.
apti is again like basics. They can cover. Let's say it's 125 questions, and it was 2 hours exam. I remember, right?
Yes.
Then
Sure.
yeah, 2 hours, right? So yeah, so apti is pretty easy. They don't need to spend much time. Like if they have some basic knowledge, then they can just go and watch it. So they can cover it in like 15-20 minutes or maybe less than that to cover the apti.
Mm,
Coming to
mm.
technical, if they say, then they can focus out of 100, then they can target to at least minimum 80.
Okay.
Now depending on the category and level of moderate of
Mm, mm,
exams. So yeah,
mm,
so
mm.
80
So,
should be the one. Yeah.
so 120 minutes, 125 question, that reflects that difficulty level cannot be very high. It has to be one
Hmm.
liner. So,
Exactly.
Pragati, tell me, like the time which was available, that is 120
Hmm.
minutes. Could you find it
Hmm.
sufficient to go through entire question
Yes,
paper
yes,
and
easily,
solve?
easily.
Mm.
Everybody
So,
should go actually because it's a computer-based exam again. So at time you will be able to see one question only. So the focus should be like you should go through each and every question, because it may happen that okay you're not able to answer one question and you can then other following questions it can be easy or something depending upon your study
mm,
strategy.
mm. Okay.
So yeah, that I
Mm.
would say. That's it.
And should do you want to give some advice to students not to get in the trap of negative marking by attempting those questions in which they are not confident?
Yeah, I would say like if they're extremely not confident that they were that this
Should
is
not do.
like or yeah, then they should not attempt it, because again
Mm,
it's a 1 point mark they will deduct it. But yeah, if they have some idea regarding that, they can go
mm,
for it. It's not like
mm,
if they like they have to be extremely clear. Let's say
mm,
like they have studied something part of it and they got four options.
mm,
Sometimes it
mm,
happens that it is a 50-50 question. Like two
mm,
options are
mm,
some we know that okay no it is not possible at all.
mm,
But out of two,
mm,
people get confused. So
mm,
if they have some understanding, if they have some idea, like
mm,
then they can opt for it. It is not a big deal. But
mm.
yeah, if out of four options, if nothing like they are not aware, then they should not go for it at all. I mean,
Yes.
they should not just take anything
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Pragati, you're working in a very reputed corporate company. And as you mentioned that when in November, December 2024, this fixed tenure notification came, then you started preparing. And then I think January, May, this probationary officer notification came, and then you must have started
Yes.
preparing for it.
Yes. Yes.
So, understandable, along with the job, you prepared for it. Now,
Yes.
you are the right candidate to whom I can ask this question, like time duration, how much is sufficient for the cracking this exam? कितना time चाहिए? And why I'm asking this question, because there are different kind of students, some sitting with the negative mindset that okay, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months are not sufficient, maybe I need to study a lot. So what was your take on that?
No, no, yeah. Again, like I am was working for an IT company, only 9 to 5 job or something like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, see, if you want to focus on Bell and actually want to go, then definitely you have to spare some time. It cannot be like okay, no, no, I'm working for. It will be an excuse basically.
Yeah,
So you should
yeah.
not take it as an excuse. No, I'm working for a
Hmm.
job. I'm doing a job, so I cannot prepare it.
Hmm.
After your spare time, you should spend at least 3 hours minimum on
Hmm.
daily
Hmm.
basis to
Hmm.
come like study the basics of it again. Like
Hmm.
you should again, you don't have to prepare like a gate level, because that requires a
Hmm.
complete your time. So you
Hmm.
cannot do. It's sometimes the people do it, but along with their job, but it's difficult. I would say. But
Hmm.
still, again, like you can, if you spare 3 hours daily on daily basis, then that will be sufficient. Again, you have to
Hmm.
focus on basics only. Don't need to
Hmm.
just focus on one subject and just carry on forward and prepare
Hmm.
for it, because otherwise
Hmm.
you will lose other subjects. That is the
Mm. Good. So that means you can manage, you can have a very good time management, and you can proceed forward for
yes,
that.
easily
Mm,
yes.
mm, mm. So I think Pragati, I have discussed with you more or less all the points which were there in my mind. Anything which I must have missed, and you feel that that should be told to the students who are aspiring and who are going for this particular exam?
Mm, no, sir. Actually, I think we have
We have
covered
covered.
everything. Yes, we have covered
Mm,
everything. Yeah.
mm,
So
mm,
again, with a mindset is important. So if they actually want to go to BEL and join an organization, even if they are working, then they should focus. They cannot give
okay.
an excuse. Any sort of excuse should be given, and
Mm,
team they can easily manage if they want.
mm.
Actually,
Okay.
it's
So
yeah.
as mentors and teachers, we keep on guiding students, but The selected candidate, they identify more with people like you who recently cracked these exams. So any guidance, any piece of advice in very precise, concise way you want to give to all the students who are going to write this exam in next couple of months? Anything you want to tell them, like do this, and it mean a lot for them.
I would say whatever the subjects they're preparing, start taking short notes on this because see, we have like a 3 months time only. So let's say they started with the subject today itself. Then this start preparing the important points of it and make so because it's not possible to come up to the same subject again. We have a lot of subjects in electronics and communication. Yes, obviously they have to focus 4 or 5, but still, if they have time, then they should focus on others as well. So
Mm,
start preparing notes and then
mm,
keep on revising it on a daily basis as well. Or weekly
mm,
basis is also fine. Like let's say this particular week, focus on one subject. I will start
mm,
preparing notes, and then on Saturday, Sunday, I will just revise those notes.
mm,
Okay. Then again,
mm,
next week will be a next subject.
mm,
But again, on
mm,
next Saturday, Sunday, they have to revise both the subject notes. So that automatically, if something they miss or something, they can go easily to that point and then revise it. So
mm,
this way, that everything will be in their mind and they don't have to go through the entire subject again and again because
mm,
we don't have time. The 3 months is
mm,
not, in fact, not very sufficient. But yeah, still like,
mm,
and
mm,
especially for those who are working professionals, then that case, then they should uh,
mm,
have some
mm.
notes ready handy with them.
Okay, wonderful. So that brings us to an end of this wonderful interactive session, Pragati. And again, at the end, I'll thank you once again for your time today. And we wish you all the very best for any endeavor in your life. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.